The fear and greed index is showing us some bullish numbers. We are now at 11. You can see from 885 to 11. This is good news. And if you look at crypto bubbles, you see that there are coins like DOT, Virtual, doing extremely well today, and many other coins. And looking at the current price of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is now at $66,000 from $62,000 this low. Yeah. And in today's midweek market structure video, this is our normal midweek reversal video. What I want us to establish is where the key levels are today, when Bitcoin is going to break out, and what will invalidate the breakout. And if, say, Bitcoin reject those key areas, what should we do and how should we position ourselves? I mean, I'm talking about altcoins. Most of the rotation will take place today. And if we see that midweek reversal go up, like, let's say, Wednesdays to up to Friday, then from Friday we're gonna have our market close show that we're gonna look at like coins that we should be rotating from, and to protect our capital, be in those safe assets. So this is exactly what I want us to discuss on today's show. If you're new, you are welcome. If you say you are a returning subscriber, you are welcome. Let's dive straight away to today's analysis. Now, this I'm going to um focus mostly on the 4 hours time frame. But before we come here, let's stick with our bias for the week, which is normal. Our bias for the week is bearish. We are bearish, and the chances for us to drop right down to $58,000 is still there. We are not yet out of danger. And if you look at the daily time frame, we are somehow, the bias for today is bullish. It's pointing more to the upside, but it doesn't mean that we are completely out of danger as well. Look at this daily setup. Why am I saying so? If this daily candle is not close bullish, or like an engulfing candle, then that's when we could be looking at possibility of continuation. For now, we have to wait until we get confirmation that this price movement is going to be like sustainable. And how are we going to do that? Or how should we know that this is going to be a real move? What we need to see happen on the daily time frame is this: price needs to stay around this range, I mean, above this zone. This area was acting as support when price was above it, and now is acting as resistance. Look at where price is currently. So if this midweek reversal take half of this move and it ends here, then it means they want to continue to mark price to the downside towards this $58,677. This is the area that I've been talking about ever since. And I also mentioned that we have the POC here, and if price is not able to break below the and close below the POC, then there's high chances we can visit the value area high, and then visit this resistance level based on the weekly high, which is this 73,900 price point. And going now down to the 4 hours time frame, after we must have established this structure, what we want to see happen is at least break of structure on this 4 hours time frame. And break of structure means price should take us at least to above this previous high, this previous level. So if we see price break above this level, at least, then the pullback should come around this area again, because this area has been acting as resistance now, and in the past also it acted as support. So if, say, we see price break at one point with volume up there, then we should expect retracement back to that area. This is what I'm looking at currently based on the current market structure for Bitcoin. And this movement here for Bitcoin has caused many other altcoins to do extremely well. And you can see that if we look at it, let me just bring in a thing, or let me bring in the session time here. Let's see what the market has been doing throughout this week, from Monday right up to today, Wednesday. We're going to see something amazing here. This is let's see, um this week. This was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. Right. So now we are here. Tomorrow is Thursday, then Friday. So this is what the market has been doing. Let us be real here and zoom this. You see, on Sunday, that was breaking Monday towards the beginning of the Asian session. We saw this huge dip down here, and this dip started right up here from this level here, right down to where price like around $62,000. Look at this huge dump here, and what I have been looking at currently is this first made this move to the downside and made this other move to the upside. Now, this move was distribution to test to test half of this move, and they distributed and then brought price again down to the downside. And ever since, we have been looking at this zone now to be the main or the key resistance level if we need to see price flip, because after this dump, this was the first high before price made this previous downward movement. You can see after this move here, we saw price created another low, high, another low. And after this, we saw this W formation. Price change character. From here, we are now back at that point in time, and you can see today what we might expect is this, or what should happen today during this session. I think we need to see price at one point break with high volume, close above, as I mentioned, close above 68,000 at least, or even if price is not able to take to close above $68,000, price should break this with high this zone, this resistance zone with high volume, and I want to see multiple candles above this area, multiple candles. And if we see multiple candles around this area, it means that the chances for us to continue to the upside is high. Now, there's something I want you guys to also look at here. This movement that caused this divergence here, this is some sort of divergence. This is not like you see this movement here down here is divergence. And if this was divergence, it means this move down here that happened on Monday should be the area we would have been looking out for a trade or any pullback. So this is the zone here. We mark the zone for you before breakout. It's very important. Why? Price might likely get back to that area. And this area is where we have this fair value gap zone. So no matter what happens, we don't want to see Bitcoin stay below at least $64,000. If we start seeing Bitcoin below $64,000, that's around $63,000, then it's not good news for us. We can easily break down towards the $58,000 price point that I mentioned earlier. So we have to look at the market based on what the market is doing or based on the current trend of the market until price is going to reverse trend. And if we have to look at this based on the current trend of the market, then we need to pay attention to what the market is doing currently on this time frame. So you can see clearly that we left this zone, price change character, and ever since we left this zone, price has been forming higher highs and higher lows. You can see this is the first high, low, and another high now. So the next low, what will happen? Is price going to come right down towards this area, yeah, around let's say $65,000 before continuing to the upside, or price is just gonna go straight sweep this liquidity here above price right up to $68,000 or $67,000 before bringing price back to the downside. I don't know what will happen, but this is what I do know. We don't want to see price take out this low here. If price take out this low, this is the low that we don't want to see price take out this low here around 64,500. If we lose this zone, right, then we are going down. We are going down. We are going down. We are going down towards this $63,000. And this zone, there's a fair value gap here around this zone, and the fair value gap is also closer to the POC based on the higher time frame volume profile. I mean, I think that was based on previous price action. What we did, I think that was yesterday. I don't know, on Monday. Or this is on Monday. I explained to you guys about the higher time frame, like the bias on the weekly time frame. I dropped down to the daily time frame. I brought in this volume profile based on previous price action. I took it to the future and bring in also like extend to the future. And after that, we created our range, and this is what Bitcoin has been doing in that range. And if we look at where we are currently, right, you see that for us to be able to have a chance, we need to see with Bitcoin. Like for us, guys, honestly, for us to be able to consider this whole move here to the upside, like to be valid or a possible reversal, um, like trend, we need to see price close above $68,000. I mean, at least above it, right up to $68,000. And if we look at the liquidation heat map, you see that we have liquidity currently, more liquidity based on the weekly setup, right up to about $70. Let me refresh this to be sure about what I'm seeing here. Yeah, we have liquidity right up to $70,000. You bet around this 69, $68,000. We have lots of liquidity. So I'm thinking that this is what they are planning to do, to sweep this liquidity above price and then continue to mark price to the downside. And if they sweep the liquidity above price and stay above, let's say $70,000 for a long time, then the possibility for them to retrace back to about, let's say about 66,500 is high. Let's now drop to the daily time frame, because I think what I'm looking at here is I'm not getting the proper structure. You see, on this, sorry, the 4 hours time frame. On the 4 hours time frame, this is what I want us to pay attention to. 'Cause if we need to see Bitcoin being bullish again, then we need to see Bitcoin stays above that $70,000. And if Bitcoin is going to reject from $69,000, this value area high zone, which there is a fair value gap there as well. If Bitcoin is going to reject from that area, then the chances for Bitcoin to continue moving downward is high. Why? You see, right here we have this higher price was struggling around this area to break above, to break above, and this zone here is also a sign that they wanted to continue to the upside. And until we take out this high here, then struggle before we can continue to the upside. Right. So I can I can see price playing whatever, like doing whatever price want to do. But what I am hoping is for us to actually break structure before we can conclude on anything. And when I talk of breaking structure, I'm looking at this measure zone here. This is a measure zone. This is the major zone. We need to see price break above this area. And if we see price stay for long above this value area high zone, then the chances for us to go more higher is high. But one thing I'm also seeing here is this alpha trend. This alpha trend, sorry, the better moving average, this is the better moving average, which is acting as support and resistance. For now, it's going to be acting as resistance. And you can see it is just around this resistance level here, this resistance level around 73,900. So if we are to expect any movement from here, which is like, or like consider it a serious movement, then we need to see this move take us straight right up to this moving average. This moving average should be the target, and this should be around $74,000 or 74,000. Then we can wait for retracement back to this value area high area, and if price reject this value area high area around $70,000, then we can consider continuation to the upside. So this is the structure, and this is also what we expect price to do. And if price is not able to do that, you know what will happen? We are gonna target this $49,100. Yeah, guys, that's pretty harsh, but that's reality. Okay. before the market is open, I want us to get a trade here. Let's see what we should be looking at now. Or let me bring in a couple of my indicators here and stick on. Let me first of all look at the open interest. Let's see where we are currently. The open interest here for Bitcoin on the 15 minutes time frame is pointing more is around the oversold area. So we should expect pullback towards this, at least to an extent, towards this midpoint line or towards this midpoint, this volume profile midpoint line. And I don't want to like do the analysis on the 50 minutes time frame. Let me do it on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see the open interest here. Okay, the open interest, even though it's above the this this is like the 50-day EMA year. Well, I want to see it stay above the POC based on this volume profile. And if we're not able to do that, then I think this whole movement here, will end around this zone. And we have this the Betong moving average that acts as support and resistance, you know, and because it acts as support and resistance, I'm looking at this now to mean if say we are to continue to the upside, then we need to see this break above. You have to answer this call. Hello, I'm live. Yeah, I had to answer that call. My wife was calling me. So this is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin today, right? And because we have this fair value gap area, yeah, right? I'm anticipating that when the market will open, we might see some sort of pullback or spike towards this fair value gap area. Now, for me to trade any coin, I need to see confirmation before I do that. I don't just buy. And US session is mostly the session that I want to place that buy order. And what I want to see, either a fair value gap, a an order block, volume, high volume node, stop hunts, or you can call it stopping volume candle. Like I want to see all of this not all of it, but one of these on the chart to give me that confirmation. For now, I'm not gonna be saying I wanna trade now. No, why? We are still yet to get to the New York session is still yet to open. In 4 minutes, it's gonna open, and when it open, I'm going to wait for at least 1 hour before I take the trade. And the reason why I'm waiting for 1 hour is because I want to understand the direction that the market makers or the market want to move towards. Either they want to continue to the downside or to continue to the upside. And if you see clearly from what we have been experiencing here today, this is the day today's movement. Let's focus on today alone, which is the midweek reversal. The market open, yeah. Let's see, yeah, around Asia. So Asia just took us right up there. So this was the high of Asia, and now we are seeing that UK is breaking. It's taking out the high of Asia. And if say we see this this 15 minutes candle close like with strong volume above this range that I drew here, this area that I drew, then the chances for us, you know, to hit this liquidity above price and come back towards this area to grab either of this liquidity here, like this fair value gap area is high. Okay. And I'm going to look at what Bitcoin would do when price hit this liquidity, yeah, which is also a fair value gap. Don't get me wrong. This zone here, this whole area, I'm expecting prices to spike there. And if I see price spike there with high volume and immediate pullback, which is like a stop hunt, then I'm going to consider this move to be invalid. That they want to continue to mark price downward towards this 59 or 58,000 price point. you know. But if say the market is open. We see price move like towards this area, right? Then we see another pullback for the next 1 hour, and we see price reject hold this zone that I mentioned. This is the previous. This is the support level that we don't want price to take. If price take out this level based on the 15-minute structure, then the chances for us to continue downward is high. So 64 above $64,000 is good. Below $64,000 is bad. That's the take for today's you know trade for Bitcoin. Now, looking at what Ethereum is doing, Ethereum is up 6%. That's fantastic. Ethereum is giving us even more juicy flavor than Bitcoin. Ethereum have taken out this. You can see, wow, Ethereum is showing strong. Took out this high, yeah. This is good, guys. It's good, and I think this is in confluence to what I mentioned earlier. I think that was yesterday or Monday. I talked about this USDT dominance chart. I mentioned that because we are around a key resistance level, yeah, the chances for us to pull back towards this level that price change character is high. This was the level that price change character with high volume and price left. I'm talking about dominance. I trade this as I trade Bitcoin into USDT. So So if the price of USDT dominance is going to drop down to um to a certain level, they should be around this 7% level, right? Because this is an area where there's a fair value gap, you know. And I think this movement here should take us down to this level. And if we look at Bitcoin dominance too, right, it's dropping. Why? Altcoins are doing well. Altcoins, Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Solana is also doing well. Solana is back at 84. Asta is also doing well. Let's see. I had this coin here. Let me see if it's doing well too. Tau also is doing well. Tau is up 7%. You know, this is what I'm saying. Like we might be entering an all season, but it's not yet confirmed because this USDT dominance need to give us a confirmation. We need to see it confirmed. And there's another chart I want us to look at. I think. Let me see. Support and resistance. Sniper. Let's see this. I want us to look at this chart. Okay. Now, what I want us to look at here is this. On the 1 hour time frame, no, not on the 1 hour time frame, on the 4 hours time frame, I want to see like huge break above the 50-day EMA with high volume. So then for the next 1 hour to 30 minutes, I need to see this huge break above price with high volume. And I need to see this candle transform into a vector candle on the 4 hours time frame. And another thing I want us to look at here is the Trendillo. You can see the Trendillo is actually making, or let's look at this now. Let me expand it. You see, it's actually making its way now towards the 0.00 line. Okay. And if we manage to break and close above that 0.00 line, then it's going to be good for Bitcoin. But if I look at this on the daily time frame, we're not yet there, because we need to see this also close above this 0.00 line. And the worst of all is the weekly time frame. We are still below. We are still below, which means the bear market is still on. Like it's still on. We are not yet out of danger. We are still in danger. For this to take us right back up here, it's gonna take a long time. Couple of weeks, let's say 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, like 2 or 3 months. Be ready to experience long, long, long up, down, more down onward price action than upward price action, for cryptocurrency. What else do we have here? Let's see. Okay, I want to look at the open interest. Not this one. Let's see the open interest for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Let me see. Yeah, you see, it's still right down here. This is good. It signifies buy. So those of you who are swing traders, you can like it's good to look for buy here. This is a good spot or where the open interest is, and you can decide to cash out profit when you see it hit. Of course, you don't have this chart, but um, open interest when I see it around 6.5%, I'm going to look for opportunity to get out from any trade because I think we're gonna be seeing it dropping down, 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 moving around this area sideways until we see a major breakout. You know, it has been bearish for a long time. You can see this drop down, this drop down. Maybe we're gonna see another drop down again. After it must have pulled back to that area, then drop down again to the next low. So now this is what I am looking at as well with the open interest to guide me towards understanding whether the chances for the trend is over or is still yet more to the down. I mean, the chances for the trend down more downward is over, or the chances for the trend more to the upside is now set. So what I'm basically saying is I use this open interest now to help me understand that this is the bottom and the continuation will target at least this on the better moving average here, which is acting as support and resistance. And if that was the case, then we should wait for it to drop down a little bit towards the $88,000 price point, or right up to, yeah, I think is this was a candle that caused this move. And if this is the candle that caused this move on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, then what I also do when I see candles like this, I bring in, I try to mark the whole entire move, from here. So down, we can use Fibonacci to do it easily. So this was the move that caused this whole dump down here, right? So we can look at the fifth zone and see where price might likely go to. Every step of the fib is important. From where we are, we might go straight to 66 to $69,000, and from there, the next line is around $71,000, and from there, we're gonna go to $73,000, and the midpoint is around $75,000. So this is the area where, if say we break above this midpoint, then we might target the POC straight away at around $80,000 or $78,000. Then the last zone is gonna be around $84,000, and it makes sense because we have this liquidity. Yeah, if we zoom out, is that something reasonable? Yeah, based on structure, this is reasonable. This is the area where, if we see price actually like retest, then we want to start looking for that opportunity to get out. And this aligns with um this it's this $78,000 price point. But the likely rejection should take us should begin from, I think, $79,000. All right, guys. That's it for today's video. Let's take on the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see how price is reacting to that time frame. We are now seeing this drop here. As I mentioned earlier, if we see rejection here, this is like a stopping volume candle. First confirmation, second confirmation. If we see this continue, or if we see this candle fully close as an engulfing candle, then it means they want to continue to mark price to the downside. But this is the range that we have marked. We don't want to see price stay below $64,000. If we see price reject around this $64,700, it's gonna be a good thing. But we don't want to see price get there. What we want to see price do is at least stay around this area. But because if price is gonna not continue upward, then this is gonna be divergence. This move here will be divergence, which means that this is a false move to the upside, and this was the real move. So if you want to trade this, right? If price is going to actually drop down here, you know, then you're buying you are selling from the retracement. down to this fair value gap area. You know, I'm gonna mark this area here. This is the area for me. I'm gonna like let me just mark it for me. So I'm going to understand when price is going to change. Yep. So that's the structure for me, and I'm going to wait and see how price will react to that. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully, you got some value from it. If you did get some value from it, you know what to do, my friends. Go right now and smash the subscribe button. Thumbs up, and see you guys on Friday. Market close and capital rotation period, or capital preservation period. You have to protect your capital from the market makers or the whales that are out to grab it from you.